So what I was saying is I wish I had highlighted this story, but I stopped Smite because people got mad at me. And I'll give you a little bit of time to guess why they might have gotten mad at me. I'm curious, what do you think? Playing Smite, I played Smite with these people for months. Why would they get mad at me? Out of curiosity, why do you think they got mad at me? Whether it's a specific instance you think happened, or like just a general thing that they didn't like, what do you think? What do you think a team of people who recruited me, I might add, from Quick Play, recruited me to play with them in their PlayStation party and everything like that. Heroes I played? No. This is gonna sound like I'm pompous. It's the truth. And I'll tell the story again, because I might as well. But, oh, I'm dead. It's because I was too good. Here's the thing. I was incredible. I was a fantastic Corki in that game. Not Corki, Cupid. Oh, man, please free me from this. I was a fantastic Cupid. I wonder, I don't think I have any screenshots from Smite left. That was on my old PS4, and this is my PS4 Pro. Like, I think these are just trophies. Here's one. There's your example. Check that out. That was common for me. Check that out. Look at that. Look at that. Oh yeah. Oh, you were there when I showed some of the 3v3 clips? Yeah. Look at that shit. Look at that shit. I was great. Anyway. Yeah, man, I missed that game. I'll play it again. Spoilers for a future stream. I will play that again. But so I might as well tell this. Let me get seated. All right. So here's the thing. It's on PC? No, all on PS4, which makes this even more unbelievable. But it's true. I played this game, and I played it a lot, and I tried to get friends in it early on, but I was the only one who was good at it, so they were like, we like FPSs, we're good at FPSs, we're gonna play FPSs. I'm like, okay, that's fine, I understand. I wish people would play this with me, but, you know, just log in. I think they had to log in X amount of time so that I could get this Agni skin, which is Triumph and Agni. I love it. It is the coolest skin. I have a couple videos of me playing as that skin, actually. PC is better at PS4? Hey, I didn't have a good PC back then. If I did, I probably would have gotten it on PC. Instead, it actually, surprisingly, feels very, very good on the PS4. It shocks me. But anyway, I'm playing, and I'm playing Quick Play. My friends don't play it anymore, but I'm still really into it. I even bought, like, the Season Pass, you know, which... Why? But I did. PS4 greater... did you mean to put a greater than symbol? Because that means the same thing that you put right there. But welcome, Yogoki. So, anyway, you know what? Back when I used to tell stories, I would go to this screen. This is my favorite screen. We'll go here. Is chat working? Is chat not working? There we go. Let me get chat over here. Yeah, let me grant J Fuzzy to make sure that this is working right. It is, cool. Don't go to my desktop anymore. Yeah, last time I leaked a password. I had to change the password on my work account. It was my work account too. Like, oh my gosh. Anyway, so I'm playing, I'm really into it. And I match up against this guy who's playing... Who's the guy who calls down the rain? He's like a tank character. Tank, bruiser, jungler, something. One of those that's like melee, right? He's playing him. And then, oh. Hold on, is that gonna come through? Why are my alerts not working? I see that Ashley followed me. Which, thank you. Why are my alerts not working? Hold on a second. I gotta figure this out because that's annoying me. They're supposed to like always work. Let's see, I got the alerts thing. Let's repeat that. Let's see if I can get it to show up. No.
Who are you people?
There's that one. Thanks. Thanks for the follow. Okay, Shock. Shock is a cool character. I am not dissing Shock here. But anyway, the guy played Shock, right? And he had like a group. He had like a pre-made -1, I think. Eventually he did. No, that's the thing. Eventually we picked up more people. So it was him. It was this one guy who played mid and also sucked at it. And by also, I left out the part where the Shock sucked. But he wasn't like god awful. He was just awful. He was like standard awful. Like he was a 3 out of 10, not a 1 out of 10. So I stood by it. But he was pretty bad. His friend was pretty bad. Eventually, they picked up me, and they're like, "Hey, dude, you're a really good Cupid. You wanna play with us?" I'm like, "Sure, yeah. Why not? I have no one else to play with. This could be a funny story in the future. Why not?" And it ended up being a funny story. Just not for the reason I thought it would be. So, eventually we pick up this other dude. I don't remember what his name was, but he was a fantastic mid. So then he kind of butted heads with the other guy. And then eventually he just like left the group. He said, "You know what? I'm done. I'm not gonna put up with you guys anymore. I'll see ya." And then he leaves, and they're talking shit about him. They're like insulting him and everything like that. And like, can you believe that? Can you believe that, Grant? I'm like, yeah? What? No, I can't. No, you guys are great. What are you talking about? You guys are super easy to get along with. I don't know what happened. So anyway, eventually we add this guy. His name's like something Colors. I don't remember what it was. Everyone just called him Colors because that was like the first part of his name. And he came in and he was abrasive as well. But he was abrasive in like the YouTuber sense, right? He'd come in and be like, almost like he was live all the time, or like planning on putting everything on YouTube, which who knows, maybe he was. Be like, "Hey, how's it going, guys? We playing Smite today?" "Yeah, Colors." "Cool! I'm gonna play as Loki." "That's great, man. Just play just play whoever you're gonna be good with today, alright? I can't carry you anymore." You know. But so we play with him for a little while, and then eventually, they start trying to, like, phase him out. Like, this is some kind of high school clique, right? They start trying to phase this man out. They phase this guy out, and they're, like, putting the party on private, like, "Oh, put the party on private, oh, Colors is on, oh, put it on private." And then, like, one time he joined, and they're still saying, "Put the party on private, Colors is on," and he's like, "What are you guys talking about?" And like, "Nothing, nothing." It's like, alright. So one day, I just get sick of it. I'm like, I had a lot going on with my master's program at this point in time, and it was stressing me out a lot, so I'm like, I can't put up with this. So here's what I'm gonna do. I am going to, from my PS app on my phone, because in my apartment at that point in time, I stayed in that apartment when I was down doing work on my master's, so I only had Yagoki Raid. Hey, what? Oh, I'm gonna be mad if that alert does not come up, because that alert is my basil juice thing, and I don't think it's gonna come up. But I appreciate the raid. Of course it didn't. I appreciate the raid. Thank you so much. We're in the middle of a story about Smite. Should I put up my cam, maybe? Let's see. Can I do that real quick? Just for the sake of it. Look a little janky. You know what? No, screw it. Yagoki Raid. Want to see that beauty? Okay, fine. Let's switch back. Why not? You saw the TV in all its glory, right? Smite story time. Yep. So, where we last left off, right? There's this guy named Colors, that this group of people that I have met through Quick Play and Smite, they saw how good I was as Corky, and Corky, I keep saying that, as Cupid, and they invite me into their group, probably because they just wanted to win games. But it's like, whatever, you know, I'll play with them. I'm a social guy. Whatever, it's fine. I'm playing with these guys, and we meet this Colors guy, and they start trying to phase him out, because he's super annoying. As if they're not already super annoying. This is what really got me, okay? These people were abrasive, and I always thought, because you see, like, how high school cliques are and stuff, like, the abrasive people flock together. It's like, to be that annoying apparently like attracts you to other annoying people. So I thought, okay, well they must love this guy and I must just hate this guy. But no, they hated that guy too. So they're trying to phase him out and it's this big like dramatic annoying dumb thing. So I'm in my apartment, you know, all I have there with me is my phone and my PS3. So I know they can't get to me. The most they can see is that I'm maybe playing Ratchet and Clank on my PS3. So they know that a party invite is not going to get to me. So I'm like, this is my opportunity to get out. I had already removed this Colors guy from my friends list because he was super annoying and he started joining parties that my real friends were in. That is a no-no, alright? Even if I like you, you have to ask if you're going to join a party with my real friends. Because we're having conversations here about, like, maybe personal stuff, maybe stuff from our past. Maybe we're going over, like, mutual stories and stuff like that. Like, oh, you remember when, that kind of thing. And if you just jump in, you only know me. I am the only one who knows you. So now you join in and everything just screeches to a halt. So this guy would join in with his YouTuber personality and be like, hey, G-Gamer, which that's my PlayStation name. Hey, G-Gamer, how are you? You doing... Oh, sorry, my fan shut off. I'm distracting me. You doing anything? You planning on playing Smite today? No, I'm on Grand Theft Auto with my friends right now. But it's nice talking to you. I will catch you later. Cool, yeah, I play Grand Theft Auto sometimes. You playing now? No, I'm on Smite. I'm playing as Loki. Alright, cool. Hey, I will catch you later. But of course, he was like a pest. Could not get rid of him. We would always end up having to make a new party. And then... it was awful. Like, scorched earth. Right? So... I get rid of that guy from my friends list, and then I'm like, okay, there's one more line I have to sever, and it's from this dude. And his name, I hesitate to give it out. I won't give it out in full. I'm just gonna call him Razorblade, because that was most of his name. Alright? Razorblade, I decide to take off my friends list, because this was a guy who had a very high-pitched voice. Let me give you an example of what his personality was. There is a thing. Those of you who play MOBAs, or have seen MOBAs, know that pretty much every MOBA has an area that's called the jungle. And you go in there, you kill mobs, get buffs for your team, or in the case of Heroes of the Storm, you get like mobs to fight for you, you know. It is what it is. I had a habit of every time I was going to gank through the jungle, I would sing Run Through the Jungle by Creedence Clearwater Revival. Just the part that goes, better run through the jungle. I would just sing that. You know, and then I would come in and I would destroy, right? That was my gimmick. So I go in, and I'm like, I'm singing better run through the jungle, and this guy, this competitive asshole, Razorblade, decides he is going to get competitive with me about this. Maybe I need to show the picture again, just to show I knew what I was doing in Smite. The Cupid there, that's me. G-Gamer 2004, that's me. 24-0-7, that is common for me back in the day, alright? That is not me bragging, that is me giving you an example of the fact that I actually didn't know what I was doing. So this guy had issues with me, right? Because I was this good. And I didn't realize it until much later. Look at that build. I don't even know what half those items are anymore. That's the thing, that could suck, but it worked for me. I was never about MOBA Fire builds. I always made them from scratch, and I made them better. Anyway. So, let me go back into this. So I'm... What those gloves were? That was something that gave you lifesteal. I remember that. They've changed? Oh, well, that was a long time ago. Anyway, back to the story. So, I sing Better Run Through the Jungle. He's like, oh, we're singing now. And I'm like, what, did I annoy? I'm sorry, you know, I just do this when I run... And before I even get to finish it, I figure out what he means. He thinks we're having a sing-off. Because I sang that one little piece of his CCR song, he thinks we were suddenly having a sing-off. So, he starts singing some song, I don't know what it was. I think it went something like... That's all I heard. I was playing with my friend Osman at this point in time. And he's just... He mutes him for a second, and he's like, is this guy serious? I wish he was here right now. He'd be able to confirm that this is something that actually happened. These people exist in the real world, and that's scary. But he took that as a challenge. You know, like a giant animal rearing up and getting ready to slash your face off, you know, except I'm singing a piece of a CCR song and he feels like he needs to get defensive. Moving forward, I have dealt with this for months at this point. And I'm saying, you know what? I got rid of one of these annoying dudes. I'm going to get rid of the other one. I'm going to take him off my friends list. So I'm sitting there. I'm stressed about other stuff. I'm like, screw it. I don't need this in my life. I go into my PS app. I get rid of it. I remove him from my friends list. I don't block him, which was a mistake, but I removed him from my friends list. Maybe an hour passes, and somehow this guy already has noticed that I have removed him from my friends list. I did not delete any of the group messages, because that will alert. I don't know. I could probably show an example, but basically it used to say, at least, I don't know if it still does, it'll say, this person has left the group chat, you know. So I didn't do any of that. Nothing that would have set off an alarm. And yet he picked up on it, and he sends me a message. He's like, it kind of like, I described it before as like, imagine you have a dog that like craps everywhere and bites you and everything like that, and then you say, whatever, you're going to live with another family, and then the second they do, they get like little puppy eyes, and they're like, really? Why? What did I do? It's like, oh man. So he did that. He's like, why did you remove me? Did I do something wrong? And I'm like, oh man. No. Yeah, that visual, that's what it felt like. It was like, it ripped at my heart. I was like, oh no. I'm sorry, you mean well. And I just told him, I was like, no, I was trying to remove that guy, you know, Colors. He's really annoying. I just figured, you know, better than keeping our parties on private, I'll just remove him from my friends list. I think I was the last one who had him on my friends list anyway, so that's all I was doing. Man, I'm sorry. I removed you by mistake. It got confusing. You guys have the same avatar or something. Like, we do? Like, yeah, man. You totally do. Don't go look, but like, you do. I promise you. And he's like, okay, yeah. So, you gonna be on today? And suddenly he's all happy, and I'm messaging back. I'm like, no, I'm out of town right now, which was actually true. I would have probably said it even if it wasn't true. But I was out of town, so I'm like, no, I'm out of town, I'm sorry. I'll be home in a couple of days, we'll play Smite then. He's like, okay, cool, man. You know, yeah, I'll re-accept your friend request, and I'll see you when you get home. I'm like, okay, cool, yeah. Cool. And I think I literally did the thing where you're sitting on your bed and you're texting somebody, and then you're so frustrated that you just flop back and put both your hands on your face. I did that move. I did that move because I was so incredibly frustrated and depressed at the fact that this guy was not even off my friends list for a full hour. So, let's flash forward to when I get back. Tensions are at a peak. Not because he knows I meant to remove him, but because I am still good at Smite. Objectively. I'm not saying I was like MLG. I'm not saying I could have gone and won a tournament. But I was good. Compared to your average bear, I was great. So I'm playing, and every time that we win or we lose, and I do better than him, which is translated every time we played together, he would get just a little bit more angry. Just a little bit. And then maybe a week passes since this incident of me trying to remove him from my friends list, and I play a game. I did it on the 5v5 map. Usually I preferred either the 3v3 or the 5v5 2-lane map, but I did the traditional 3-lane 5v5 map with this guy and his friends. And that day we had I think a full pre-made. So we had this guy, we had 2 of his friends, and then one more person that was like, I felt so bad for her. This super soft-spoken girl who just, she sounded like she didn't want to cause any trouble or anything, you know. She just wanted to be there, you know, and have fun, you know. Super, super soft-spoken. And she was my support. I played Hunter, you know, as Cupid, I played Hunter, right? I go into bot lane. About 2 minutes in, we kill both of their guys. And then their Caprican support comes back, and I killed him again. So like 3-4 minutes maybe into the game, probably closer to 3, I have 3 kills. I can already pretty much afford my first item, which is... What was the item that I was using then? It was like that cross item that I think gave you a ton of mana or something, that you start building stacks on, and the sooner you got that item, the better you were. Like, that was a huge snowballing item. So I was like, oh, I can get that item. I'm getting pretty fed now. That's great. I think we're going to win this one. And this dude then proceeds... Transcendence, that's it. That's it. It was Transcendence. I had just gotten Transcendence, or I was about to back and get Transcendence off of that. So I'm like, oh, this is cool. I'm getting fed. Things are going pretty well down here. And this dude then proceeds to have a fit. In the truest sense. This dude starts going off. He starts yelling. I'm not even exaggerating when I say yelling. I'm not saying that he just had like a really negative tone. He is yelling into his microphone. No, you are not getting fed. That is not fed. You don't understand what fed means, man. You have 3 kills. 3! You only have 3 kills. 3 kills is not fed. You don't understand what fed means, man. You're not that good at this game. I don't care what you say. You're not that good at this game. You are just fine. You play Cupid. Who plays Cupid that's good at this game? You don't see anyone in MLG playing Cupid. And I'm just sitting there like, what the hell is going on? Because I knew this guy was annoying, but until that point, I didn't realize that he was harboring this much resent. And I'm like, I was just saying that, like, I got 3 kills and I can afford Transcendence now, so that's like a really good thing. Are you okay? He's like, oh, whew. And then like he goes silent. And I'm like, alright. And at that point in time, I'm honestly worried he had a heart attack. Like, I remember thinking that, because like, he got really worked up. I was like, I really hope he's okay, like, physically. Because he just went really silent. The rest of this game transpires, and I really wish I had at least saved a video of the game, so that I could, like, maybe play this and show how well I was doing, and affirm that this was one of my good matches, you know? Confirm that this was another 24-0-7 match. Which I'm pretty sure it was. It might have been exactly that. That was a very common score for me for some reason. But it was. Trust me, I did not die that match. After that fit, I made it absolutely sure that I did not die. Back in the day, I would take a lot of chances. If we got into their Titan, I would use Corki's like quick, like it was his circle move. It's the one where he like moves really quick in, you know. And I would go in and I would tank the Titan, because dash, is that just what it's called? I would use his dash, and I would go in there, and I would just tank their Titan down, because as a hunter with a ton of lifesteal, you can kind of do that. And I didn't take any of those chances this time. I was like, no, I'm not dying. Every time I got a kill, I would hear, fuck, motherfucker, stupid asshole. Like, are you okay? Razorblade, are you okay? You doing okay? And eventually, I start trying to, like... I start going, like, okay, if you're gonna be mad, I'm gonna make you mad now. You know? So, every time I get a kill, I would do, like, the woohoo, you know? Which is great. I had the Cupid voice pack, too. If you know how high-pitched Cupid's voice is, you'll know exactly what that sounded like. Just like a woohoo! Every single time. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And then I would hear, like, ah! Oh, fuck! You know. I come to find out, I'm not hearing this from his microphone. I'm hearing this from his friend's microphone, because this dude is yelling so loud about me that it is echoing from his friend's headset into his friend's mic. This guy had muted me after his fit. On PlayStation, a mute means you don't hear them and they don't hear you. So, anytime I asked if he was okay, he wasn't hearing that, but he sure as hell was hearing the woohoos. So, I kept on going. That's my only means of communication. Of course, I'm gonna have to woohoo every once in a while just to let him know that I'm having fun. So, I keep going. Finally, you know, it comes time to actually go in on the Titan. I have successfully taken out every single turret, and I'm like, you know what? Time to end this one. Let's go on in on the Titan. You're getting ahead of me, Ashley. I go in, right? I take out their Titan on my own, because at that point, I am like fully built. I am way better than anyone on their team, because in addition to me doing exceptionally well that game, despite my teammates being bad as usual, their team was like abysmal, right? Like I said, like the fact that I killed them 3 times in like the first 3 minutes is a sign that they weren't that good, you know? So I go in and I just like basically solo their Titan. My teammates are close behind me, you know, so not completely alone. As soon as the round ends, I let it hang in the air for a second. I wait for the explosion and everything. You know, it's not really an explosion, but like the loudness of the Titan dying. I wait for that to calm down, and then I throw it in there. I am the greatest. I throw it in there. I thought this guy was going to have a stroke. He is yelling. I will remind you all that he cannot hear me because he has muted me, which means I should not be hearing him. But he is yelling so loud that coming in clear as day from his friend's microphone, who is not in the same building as him, it's coming through his microphone because it's so loud in his friend's headset that it is reaching his microphone. No! You are not the greatest! You're not the greatest! It's just, it was like the end of like an 80s ski film, you know, where the dude finally beats the guy down Death Mountain, and then the bro on his skis is breaking him over his knees like, no! I can't believe it! How did you do this? No, now my dad's not gonna be able to knock down the rec center. Oh my gosh, it was uncomfortable. I was like, okay, like, I know what I've been doing, but I did not start this. I would like to go back just a little bit to the beginning of this story where I said I did not know he had issues with me. I knew he was annoying. That's all I knew. And at the beginning of that match, I said nothing aggressive. I said, and this is not me just being kind to myself and like generous to what I said and where maybe I said something super cocky. No, I just said, I got 3 kills. I'm getting a little fed. This is nice. I can get my first item. That's what started all of this. That right there. The idea that I was doing well, yet again, in spite of the fact that he was not good at the game. He played that game religiously, way more than I did. And I played that game a lot back then. He played that game religiously, and the fact that he could not hold a candle to me, it finally got to him. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. So we leave to the party. He is now actually silent, because I do not hear him yelling anymore. I am now talking to his soft-spoken friend who was my support, and I said, you did really well that game. Thank you, I really appreciate it. I definitely wouldn't have gotten so fed if not for the fact that you were a very good support to me all that round. I'd like to thank you. And she's like, yeah, thank you. You know, you're welcome. And she's like, she's afraid because this is her friend. She doesn't want to take my side, even though she knows that he's muted me, I'm sure. She doesn't want to take my side because she's a good friend. I don't remember her name. You're a good person. You're a good person to stand by someone like that. I then told her to relay a message for me. I said, okay, I'm going to leave the party. I know he still has me muted. I'm very sorry for how uncomfortable the situation has been for you. I'm sure it has not been too fun for you. And she kind of like laughed a little bit, but an uneasy laugh, you know. I'm like, I will not be coming back. I want you to tell Razorblade I will not be heading him back this time, and I am going to be blocking him. So please, do not have him try and contact me. Don't have any of his friends try and bring me back. This is the end. We're done here. You have a good day. I left. So, as an addendum to this story, I told it again, and I don't remember if you said this, Valhalla, or if it was somebody else who said it the last time I told this story. It might, you know what? No, this was another time I had told this story. It was a guy who came by, his name was Blake Chaos, I think. If I'm not wrong. I think that's what it was. And he said, it sounds to me like you embarrassed this guy in front of some girl that he liked. And I sat there for a second, I was like, that's absolutely what it was. Because this is a guy who probably thinks the best thing he can do to get this girl to like him, this particular girl, is to be good at Smite. He definitely, it wasn't you, well, either way, I think it was that Blake Chaos guy who brought that up. But anyway, this guy, Razorblade, he thought to be good at Smite, that was the way, because he would be the alpha of the group, I guess, at that point, right? I almost understand it, right? From a very juvenile area, right? I can get if you're like in high school or something, or maybe middle school, that you would feel that way. Especially if it's someone else who plays that game with you, but like, I don't think this guy was in high school. I think this guy was pretty mature. Physically. Needless to say, emotionally, maybe not so much. I'll say this for sure. She loved Smite more than she loved that guy after that night. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. But it was... Yeah, this was a girl. I don't know if he knew her in real life. I don't know if he met her on Smite just like he met me and everyone else that we played with. I don't know if that was the case. But regardless, you're talking about the internet. You're talking about a dude. And you're talking about a girl. On the internet, more often than not, when you're playing, especially a game like Smite, you know, a guy encounters a girl, and it's like, oh my goodness, it is like seeing some unicorn. It's like, this is not supposed to exist. Oh my god, please join my party, play with me. And then he does that, and then I join. I'm like, you guys doing 5v5s? Yeah, we're doing 5v5s, G-Gamer, come on, let's go on in here, let's play. And I go in, and I outshined him. With her in lane with me. Not only was I getting the privilege of laning with her, but I was exceeding expectations. My Cupid was incredible. An excellent killing machine. Charming. Hilarious. Everything you may want. His shock was a couple zip codes away in top lane. Oh, Cupid. Of course, Cupid. I didn't even make that connection until just now, but yeah. It all comes down to love, baby. Shock is up in top lane doing his own thing, right? He's trying to build up enough so that he can leave lane and then stay joined at the hip with her. I then cause him, through no fault of my own, to have a conniption fit. It is one of the most unbelievable things that's ever happened to me, and I hate so much that I did not stream back then. I said this the last time I told that story. If I streamed back then, I would have absolutely... I make the mistake. I'll say that. I make the mistake of streaming with my friends. Anytime a friend is on. Like, I would have streamed with friends today if any of them had joined me, but one of them was playing League and the other one was AFK, so it's like, yeah, I'll just get on Code Vein, and that was a much better decision. I make the mistake of streaming with friends, so I would have streamed with them. Because at that point in time, I would have said they were friends, not like in a super strict sense, but friends, you know. They're people I played with, so it counts, right? And I wish so much I had a video of this, because I am not exaggerating a single thing. I understand, especially on like Twitch or something like that, when someone tells... Acquaintances, yes. I will stream with acquaintances, that is the best way to put it. Though, I also stream with like actual friends too, but... I even make the mistake of streaming with acquaintances, people that I can't really... that I don't know enough about that I should actually invite them onto a stream. Though I can't really trust my friends in that way either, half the time. But, yeah, what I was saying is, I know on Twitch, people can embellish, they can exaggerate, because that's good storytelling, a lot of people think. You know, if it's not that interesting of a story, you make it sound more interesting. You make the guy have a conniption fit when really all he did was mute his mic. No. This guy had a fit. He threw a tantrum. This man regressed about 15 years and started losing his mind like a 5-year-old denied a candy bar. It was it was one of the most ridiculous things that has ever happened to me. One of the single craziest things that has ever happened to me in video game form. Now, one day I will tell so many of the other crazy stories from like my master's degree has a ton of them. I mentioned during that story being so stressed out. There's like 1,000 reasons for that, and they're all entertaining. And I've told a couple of them before. I might get into them in a second, but it is what it is. One story at a time, I guess. But yeah, as far as not trusting real life friends, let me get into that for just a second. For when I'm highlighting this, because I do want to actually highlight a definitive version of that story. Right here. This is where you cut it. Alright? Not a little bit ago. This is where you cut it. That's where that story ends. Anyway.